Napoleon syndrome. Napoleonitis. So, St. John chapter 10, verse 26. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice.
So it's really as simple as that, man. The reason you don't understand, the reason you can't hear, is because the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. And that's a fearful. Hey, when we see that, man, that's a fearful thing. Because sometimes, you be in the spirit hoping, I hope you'll get it. I hope she'll get it. But you just got to come to the realization of, right, the Lord ain't dealing, man. And that just might be for right now. Because that's not to say that, hey, that they might hear the trumpet sound again somewhere else at a different time, at a different place, and take heed. Right, but as for right now, hey, the Lord, have sealed their minds with the hot iron, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, see them. Yeah.
It's only for the elect.
It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them.
Yes, so the Lord knows us, man. As a matter of fact, he said before, he formed us in the womb, he knew us. And ordained us, man. That's beautiful, man. Because, none of us up here ever thought we'd be standing out here doing this, what we're doing, 2026.
A lot of people in Israel, you have to be soldiers. They have to go again.
Where are you from?
From Africa, a lot of Israeli soldiers.
Where are you from?
Venezuela.
Oh, Venezuela.
You're one of God's people?
No, my son is there.
Oh, your son is there?
His mother is a Jew.
Oh, he's Jewish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that doesn't mean anything because you're his father, right?
Yeah, that one, my son is there. I mean, Israel is taking a lot of people from all over the world.
Yep.
The one who are Jew and the one who wants to convert.
Israel
is an emergency,
What, they're taking them to fight the war?
Well, everybody has to. Women and men.
Women and men.
That's not in the scripture,
You
man.
have to fight for your country.
But here's what we're telling you, though, is that...
What I mean is, if you have a son, if you have a son or you have a daughter, and it's a Jew, my child go there to fight for the country. According to the...
Even though it's Falasha,
well, only man, women, they go to the army.
Yeah, like the something like that?
IDF.
They get the
because they need a lot of people. Israel is an emergency to survive.
Even there was a bus that just went past that said we're recruiting.
It's a lot of people, even the Arab countries, the Arab Bedouins, and some of them they convert and they become Israeli. It's very difficult because you have to have your heart for God. Adonai Elohim.
You pray for this. You pray for your
Father. But it's not, you pray, but you have to go.
Yeah, but that
because King David
are liars.
King David.
You're liars and you'll be judged on the day of judgment.
Prove it. Come, prove it. The simple pass on and a punishment.
He's a hammer. He's a hammer.
He's got demons.
See his countenance.
Making statements.
Even Solomon, he has a lot of women, queen Sheba from Africa, and the Israeli soldiers and the African, they unite, they give to Africa, and from them they give Israel. Very good for it.
That war is only going to escalate. That's what these are talking about stuff like that. That's not going to come to fruition. It's only going to escalate. The only hope is a ceasefire for how long? Just a few days.
Yeah. It never has been peace.
During that ceasefire, they still dropping bombs.
Exactly. Before Jesus Christ was in the Solomon time and David and everything, they have always been fighting. Middle is always fighting.
No, they weren't fighting in Solomon's time, they were peace.
They have been fighting in Canaan ever. The brothers Ephraim, yeah.
But here's the thing you have to...
The Ephraim was the one who
It's Isaiah chapter 57, verse 20. For the wicked are like the troubled sea, when they cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked.
Because those people that are occupying Israel right now, they're not the true Jews of antiquity.
Israel has been occupied so many times, but sometimes they leave the war. Like you find Latin Jew, Afro, Chinese Jew, Indian Jew, Latin American Jew, because they be out.
But what it really is that those are nations that have what's the word? They have converted to Judaism, because what we're out here teaching is that
Some people convert, but not many, because it's difficult to convert.
but here's the thing. According to the Holy Bible, according to the Torah, you can't convert to being a Jew. To be a Jew means what? You're from the tribe of Judah, right? Or the kingdom of Judah, meaning you're Benjamin, Ephraim, or Judah. So what we're out here teaching,
Abraham was the first one to convert. Because before there was Abraham, the first man.
Abraham.
Yeah, he was the first one.
When you begin to listen to what he says.
But the point I want to make to you, right? You said your son has a Jewish mother, right?
Yeah.
Well, according to the Bible, you're a Jew determined to the house of your father, right? According to your father. So you are the seed of your father. So you're from Venezuela, right? So you're
But the Jew is from the mother.
No. According to Judaism, according to the Torah, you're just here. Listen to
The thing
this.
is that you can be Jew, but it doesn't mean that you believe. Because some Jews they don't believe.
Let's see what the Bible
It's
says.
like
Hear what the Bible says. This is what the Bible says. There's Numbers chapter 1, Numbers chapter 1, verse 18.
The Torah, the Old Testament.
Yeah, Old Testament. What happened? So listen. Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. Here it is. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
And what do?
And they declared their pedigrees.
They declared their pedigree or their lineage. Just like you have a dog, you have different pedigrees of dogs, right? The pedigree is what it's okay, this is a Yorkshire Staffordshire Yorkshire Terrier, right? Right, it's the same thing how the Heavenly Father does it through the seed of men, right?
Declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
No, their mother.
The house of their fathers.
The house of your father, because your father holds the seed or the sperma. Right. So no matter where that seed or that sperm is planted, that's going to bring forth what that is. Same thing if you have an apple seed, right? If I plant an apple seed, whether it's over here in the UK or over there in China, it's still gonna be what, an apple. Right. You can't get an orange apple seed. So really, Shine, there's really no such thing as mixed. You are the seed of your father, according to the Torah, according to the Bible. So whether your son's mother is Jewish or not, it's really neither here nor there. It all depends on what you are, and you're more than likely an Israelite. You're a true Jew. You don't have to convert to anything. You're born by blood an Israelite. So what we're teaching the Israelites is that it's high time to wake up and sleep and return back to your God. Man. The same one that brought these curses and plagues upon you, he's the only one that can free you from them, through his son.
The people from Africa and the people from Russia, Jew and African Jew, even they go to Israel, they want to be Israel, they have to start against all the They can be good, but you have to learn Judaism.
You can't listen. Can I become Chinese?
No.
Can I become Chinese? Why? I'll learn their language.
Your son can be
I'll learn their cultures.
Where you have to go to Israel.
I'm just like them. I'm just like a Chinese person. Can I become Chinese?
He changed his name to Wu.
I mean, you can be.
I want to believe what they believe. I want to become Chinese. Can I become Chinese?
Change this style to take a piece.
You can be.
I can be a Buddhist, but can I become Chinese?
Chinese is for the law.
Right. So what we're saying is, so what we're saying is, you can you're a Jew by blood, but you are fathers. You are forefathers. Do you understand? Wait. Do you understand what I'm saying? Wait. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're a Jew by a man called Juda. He was the son of Israel, or Jacob. Right. Wait. Do you understand what I said?
Yeah, I can understand what you
There was a man called Jacob, right? Do you understand? There was a man called Jacob. One of his sons, he had 12 sons called Judah. So the Jews come from that line. You got blood from the blood. As you said, the blood. Not by belief. You can't believe I'm a Jew. No, you're a Jew by blood. Not by belief.
By belief you is conversion.
No.
Judaism.
You have to go to the rabbi.
You have to say.
old book.
your
It's an old
love
book.
for God through Israel, He can make you believe. You don't have to compare.
Someone said,
All people don't understand that. That's a mystery.
beware of the scribes and Pharisees who walk about long roads. Get out.
Yeah, it's basically talking about being a Jew inwardly, and then you're a Jew outwardly, but you're not a Jew.
Scribes
You're
and
Israel according
Pharisees
to the
would
Most
be
High,
like the rabbinical.
right? Because we're looking for Israel according to the Most High. You're talking about believing, but that was for Israelites.
Yeah.
That was for Israelites, whether they were scattered. Because when they were talking about that, they were reading from the New Testament. The New Testament, that was designated for Israelite foreigners, Israelites that were scattered abroad. Okay? Israelites that were according to the flesh, and Paul was sent to them, trying to bring them, trying to graft them back in. Okay?
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. Okay, so even as the brother said, yes, we was carried away unto these philosophies, Christianity, Islam, okay, and the worshiping the stone, yeah, and the wood. Okay, but that's not our heritage. When we come back to our heritage, it's to convert, okay, which means to come back to what we lost, which is from us, our identity, our nationality, our heritage. Okay, you can't graft into something that you haven't been grafted from. Like fruit trees, you can't just get an apple tree and a what do you call it? I don't know, like a fig tree. You can't graft them together, they have to be from the same vine.
James 3 and 11. Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine, figs, so can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Right, so a fig tree can't bear olive berries. It's no olive tree. It's a fig tree, so it can bear figs. So these are two blood banks. You understand?
It's specifically simplicity.
It is.
Like, we're okay to listen to it, but they don't want
They already got made up in their minds that we don't got it. Now we're in error. They got something that they can teach us. You've got something to say. Let me read this again. Let me read this first. Romans chapter 2, verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. Right? Because you got Israel according to the flesh. But as Paul said to his epistle to the brothers in Rome, all Israel is not Israel. So it says, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, the mind, right? In the spirit, and not in the letter, to the law. He praises not of men, but of the Most High. That's what it talks about in Galatians chapter 6, verse 16, I believe. The Israel of God, right? Because you have Israel according to the flesh, like our people. They look like our people, but they're not. No. They're not. You might as well. You might as well link them with other races of people. We're out here for the elect, the Israel of the Most High, and the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. That's what that guy, the brother that stood there, is he from Venezuela? From Venezuela, talking about converting to be a Jew, being one inwardly. That's talking about an Israelite foreigner that believes, that is one inwardly. That's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. That has the spirit in him. Right? That can call upon Yahweh Hashem Yahshua out of pure heart. Right? He might even look like a heathen. But he has the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua in him. What means he's one of us. He's led by the Spirit. That makes him a son of the Most High. Right?
And then vice versa.
But that's a mystery unto them. That's a mystery unto them. They can't understand that. Like a lot of our people might look like Negroes, but their daddy is a slave master. So does that make no one else? No, they're not one else. Because his father is the enemy. So he's a sense from the enemy. He's a seed of the devil. According to Matthew 13.
That's why I said it's not a colour thing. Okay, because even Elton John, he's an Israelite. Okay, he looks like a Caucasian man. Okay, but he's actually one of us. Like Conor McGregor. Okay, he's an Israelite. Okay, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio, he's an Israelite.
Right.
Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie.
Jamiroquai.
Exactly. These are people that are Israelites. These are not so-called Caucasians, even though they look Caucasian. Okay, but people don't look at things for face value. They don't know about lineage. Okay, and going through family lines.
Yeah.
Okay, and watch, if I was to go with a European woman, 3 generations down, okay, my children are not going to look, my complexion. They're going to be pale skinned, probably ginger.
Right.
Okay, because that ginger is it's not a defect, that's what happens when you branch out. Okay?
That chart, how did you come up with
Well, that's the grand, isn't it? That's basically all that. So this is deep. So this is like it's quite deep. It's a deep question he asked. Even Ephraim Benjamin, if a brother could get Benjamin, he said Genesis 49, where our ancestor, our forefather Jacob, prophesied what would happen regarding the 12 sons and their children after them in the last days. Get on 49 verse 1. Where are you from? The Caribbean Islands. Genesis 49 verse 1.
Genesis chapter 49 verse 1. Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In what?
In the last days.
Which shall befall you in the last days, right? The last days began 2,000 years ago. But we're in the last days now, right? But get on with scripture, we're talking about Benjamin, Raven and so forth.
27. I was trying to get
I know. Why this? Why did we come to the conclusion that?
Yeah, because how did you link up with Indians with black people?
Say what? Which one?
Indians. The race of Israel, right?
Right.
The house, the race of Israel.
Right.
How are Mexican?
That's the spirit. The brother was just going into that.
How are they? How did you match up? Say, okay, Indians are like Gad.
Yeah. If I get that, get Gad. Get the one in Gad.
And West Indians are Benjamin. But they hate me in the West Indians as well.
Before you bring that out, if I can just say, just quickly, because when you were just up here, the brother was, if I can just, before you bring it out, because the brother was just explaining perfectly right there. He's saying the colour thing. No, but what I'm saying is you have to understand is that.
Talking about lineage.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
Genesis chapter 49 verse 19. That a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last.
Read that again.
It says, that a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last.
Who overcame Gad? The conquistadors, the Spaniards, the cavalry, those cavalry, they overcame him. But they're gonna overcome at the last. They will overcame. That's how the Soviet gained power over the Americas, the North and South America, and the troop overcame them. And it was the diseases that they came with as well, smallpox. All of these, that's what. Wait. I'll give you something. Through the Spirit, and that, if you can receive it, the business is all about whether you can receive it. Because also there's other evidence outside the Bible that proves that the native Indian people are Israelites. There's a man called James Adair. He went over there, he was among the native Indians when he spoke the funeral rites, the marriage rites, their language, right, their dress code, they wore fringes on their garments. Right?
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Israel, and the 12 tribes, right? How did, like, who
Where did you get that from? Like, to say, like, so did you, was it like, oh, when they were taking people over to America, just Judah get off the boat in America, but then Benjamin stay behind, we're going to put you in the Caribbean? It doesn't make any sense. Because when the black people were going into captivity, on the slave ships, they were mixed up. Do you get what I'm saying? So families were separated. So one family was here, one family was there. You know what I'm saying? So I might be in Grenada, my family might be in America, my other family might be in South America. I don't understand how you can put one tribe to one place and then another tribe to another place. It doesn't make any sense.
For example, wait.
So you're saying, how do we know that these are the people in the...
Because I understand. My question is, how the hell do you match all these people?
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying, how do you know who we are? According to how do you know that?
How do you know what tribes are at? When we've been mixed up in it. I don't understand. That's the only thing I didn't say. I've looked into this tribe thing and I just doesn't sit right.
Genesis chapter 49 verse 1. It says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, are you already aware that he had 12 sons, right?
Jay!
Okay, so he called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together. That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. Okay, these are the sons of Jacob. Okay? And hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest unto thy father's bed. Then the farthest thou went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Simeon and Levi is Dominican and Haitians. Okay? Today, that's what they'll be called today. Is there any sort of like let me answer your first question and we'll get to the next one.
You want to take time.
So this is the understanding of how we've understood. Because remember, these are the names that we're called, labeled by our oppressors. These are the names that one's like British Charles. These are
His name is called Ariel. He was around before I was born.
How did he come up with this job?
Well, like I said, it's through the Spirit. It was Ezekiel 37. That's the Spirit. Talks about the one stick shall be joined. Please, if you can get that. So in these last days, you understand that the Lord's going to join up the two houses that will split apart. So that's what I'm saying. Through the Spirit,
I understand.
we can through the Spirit, you have to receive that the Lord is raising up that tabernacle of David again. So it's closing up the preachers. There was a preach.
I understand that.
So I'm saying like
I'm trying to get to that. So that because what you've got here is you've got lots of different places like West Indies,
Right.
Haitians in the West Indies, but then you have them all together anyway. Dominicans, right? But then you've got Guatemalans and Panamanians, you have Puerto Ricans, right? Cubans, North American Indians. Their phenotype is really the same. It's like they're so far removed.
But you're talking about a carnal sense.
I'm not talking about other sense. I can understand that people over time they might look different, they might mix with different that type of stuff. But when you look into it, like the Trump,
but you do realize that there was two kingdoms split up. It was not right. So why do you think that was? Thank you. Yeah, yes. You said no.
Northern Kingdom.
No, you're not. The Northern Kingdom.
Where did they go?
They look somewhat different
Where did they go?
from the Southern Kingdom. Second Ezra 13.
But Azareth, no one knows Azareth.
Yes, we.
Azareth is the Americans. It's now called the Americans.
Where
Jewish encyclopedias.
When you look up the word Azareth in the Jewish encyclopedia, it's talking about the Americas. Okay? Even Solomon knew about the Americas. He sent ships once every 3 years to and he brought back peacocks, apes, all kinds of things. So they knew about the Americas long before Christopher Columbus did. Listen to what I'm saying. Wait. No, wait. Even Christopher Columbus, when he came to the Americas, he brought 3 Hebrew translators because he knew those people. He knew that he went into the scriptures. I'll wait.
It's alright.
I know you. Remember, number.
Yeah, I recognize this. Just obviously something like
If you have time, you can go into and break it down.
yeah, but I just when I was looking into it, I saw that half of these tribes, the way the guy came out of it, I don't know his name, what he was, but I think someone said he had a dream or something and he just visioned things. But it doesn't actually make.
Oh, it wasn't Amory, it was Arios, and I was wrong.
But then when you actually deep it, and for me personally, I would say that the tribes will be found mainly in Africa. Mainly. Like you find different tribes in Africa. Can I just repeat even if you go to parts of South Africa, they've got tribes like Juda, Negro, West Africa, Shanti, Ghana, you've got all these different tribes in Africa that actually say that they've been people alongside you. You get what I'm saying? So discount them. Some of them even saying they're Gad, some are saying they're Rubens, they're all saying that they're from different tribes. So for you to discount that whole thing, you know it's like and then say, oh, you know what, they're all over somewhere else. It doesn't really make no sense.
Brother's got a quick point at the point. You've been holding it.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
So I'll be very quickly. So I get what you're saying, but you have to look at it spiritually because you understand about the curses in Deuteronomy 28, right?
Of course, but the thing is, they never had 400 years of captivity.
No, remember, they did. Remember?
They never went for 400 years, man.
When
they got reservations and casinos and all that stuff, they're taking.
But hold on, they're not taking, they're still under their oppressor.
Yeah. Remember, they got conquered first, bro.
I understand.
They got conquered first, so they got decimated by the millions. Now, what? They got their whole land taken. Do you understand what happened to them?
They had yokes of iron on them as well.
They were put on slave boats as well. They were put on slave boats as well. They were put. Yeah, but it's the same. Remember, like you're looking at like they're different people. There are people still. You are. You're looking at like they're another. I understand it because it's been like a disconnect. That's why I said there's just wait. That's why they say like there's been a kind of like a breach between us and them. We can't look at them as though they're different people, and vice versa. But we're actually the same people. It's just that the Lord closing that breach was closing, and you have to understand the magnitude of what I'm saying when I say that.
I would understand if you said all of this, but if you said look at people that kind of resembled me a bit, I would get it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, so you're looking at the way you look now.
But I'm not saying that they have to look like totally like. Yeah, but I'm saying when someone's been looking a certain way for like they've been looking that way for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? Like they like even feeling like
when it's the Syrian captivity, you know.
Even I just might not believe in genetics or they might not know genetics, but when it comes to genetics, they're not even from.
Yes, they are. You know what they look like, bro? They were dark skinned, broad nose. The real native Indians, like a lot of them, they look the way they look now because the Conquistadors and the Spaniards. I'm talking about the proper, the Peruvians, broad nose, we were intermarrying among them. They took a lot, especially a lot of the Seminole Indians. We fought alongside them against the American cavalry. And there are people, you don't know it, you don't know. It's in the Bible. The Bible tells you that. Give it 2 Ezra 13. Let's get it.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. So Manasseh, king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land,
which was Assyria, which was Assyria, right? This was Assyria to the time of King Manasseh, right, of Assyria.
But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen,
which was in the Middle East, come on.
and go forth into a further country,
Right.
where never man can dwell,
Come on.
that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land.
Right? Which was in the Middle East that they couldn't keep there. So they left that land to another land where no man could walk. Come on.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Come on.
For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Come on.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Asherah.
There you go.
So where is that?
That's why they came to the Americas.
My argument for that is I'm not trying to be contentious, I'm just giving you my point of view what I think I'm not into. I didn't really find much of where Azov was as a location. But when I did do some research, I found out some of the tribes who they came from north, they came down into South Africa, and they were trying to keep their roots there. And those people have 90% of our genetics.
But what
A land where no man could walk.
what did he say? He said
Listen,
there was a long distance.
Wait, a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Wait, so it took them a year and a half. So wait.
How quick
No, wait. No, wait there. So you're talking about a year and a... You don't take no shit. You can walk there.
But they got off the shit.
What are you taking the shit for?
They got off the shit. It says it took them a year and a half after they got off the shit.
Taking the shit.
Read it again. Read it again.
Says here. And they entered into Euphrates.
Yeah,
right.
So the Euphrates, you know the Euphrates?
Yeah, I know the river. Yeah, I understand the river. Yeah.
By the narrow passages of the river.
Yeah.
So they wasn't walking. It
Yeah,
must have
okay,
been-
they got off. Yeah, they got into the river. Yeah, keep going.
They didn't say they got off. They didn't say they got off. They said
For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Yeah, so they passed over now, so they're on the other side. Carry on.
Of what sea?
Of the river, the Euphrates. Carry on.
For through that country
Country,
there was a great way to go.
way to go.
a great way to go.
So they were over the river already.
Great way to
I know,
go.
so they're off the water already.
So that cuts.
That's the Euphrates that they're coming across. They were crossing
According to his knowledge, even if he wasn't, let's
It was a year and a half.
It doesn't.
That's my brother's trying to show love, innit? I'm not even going to
It doesn't take a
I'm just giving
year.
you my
It
point.
doesn't take a year and a half to get from Ross to
Brother, if you're
from
traveling as a
Israel to
tribe
South
and you've got
Africa.
women and kids with you and tents and
You
animals
go,
and livestock, it's going to take you a while.
Remember going off.
I'm not going to get there. I'm not going off.
But I'll say one thing.
There's a reason why. Remember, you what? Listen, you know, Christopher.
They crossed the river.
You're not gonna get
They
it.
got
Well,
off.
listen, Christopher Columbus, when he went to the Americas, the three Hebrew translators, what was he reading? He was reading Ezra. He said it himself. So he didn't go to South
And
Africa.
those people that you showed me the
He didn't
like
go to.
me.
He went to a land where no man could go. So he knew who he knew who the people he was going to
The people
encounter.
that he was encountering was this one here. And these ones are there as well. See what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. But we were there anyway. So what time? But you think we've got to sit in Africa for the whole time? Don't know it. We was everywhere, bro. We was in Europe, we was in China, we was in India. Of course we're going to be over there.
Those are the tribes, the southern tribes, the northern tribes, which is some of the Latino stuff, already open, we caught up with them.
And let me say something. You see when he goes to Deuteronomy 28:68, Lord will bring us by ships. Right. How did we get to the Americas?
Yeah, that was a slave ship.
By ships.
They were like ships as well.
Ships.
Yeah, but that was
So that's how we got to there.
that was that activity.
Right. So we understood. So we understood that. But we understand that. But you know, but people can say that. But we wanted Egypt. People walk. No, but we understand it's the Americas in it. It doesn't say Americas, but we know that in the spirit, it's talking about the Americas. But we understand it's talking about the Americas. We are brought there by slavery.
Egypt.
So we know it's talking about America. Stop playing stupid. You know where it is.
28, yeah, talk about America. Anyways, my brother,
Thank you.
I'm gonna head out, but are you not free? Or are you
We kind of move around. You take the chance to do it.
I think I've seen you guys. I did
Hey, don't find a way to leave a comment and then I'll respond. Type in London, say.
say that shit. 144. London say 144. It's weird, I think I see you in the castle on video on TV. I've watched it. The chart is
Yeah, no. Listen, like, and even when it says West Indian, Negro, Haitian, you got the West Africans. So they're a part of that too. So they're not on the side, but they're a part of that as well.
You can't throw away the chart, bro. That's not the spirit.
I got precepts.
No, I'm not saying this bit here is fine. That bit there,
How did you even learn about the whole
You got a
Israelite
problem
thing,
with
son?
the Northern Kingdom.
I've got a problem with the Northern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom, I don't
You don't believe it's them. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
not much,
Believe him, man.
there's not much evidence.
There's plenty of evidence. Because you don't want to go into it. There's plenty of evidence, bro. They're us as well. They're us as well. That's why they got called by the same people. There are people, bro. And did you know that in the Bible it says Juda and Israel was oppressed together?
Oh, that's what I've got. That's what I thought my hand.
Bring up.
Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33. Thus saith, it says, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Who's that? You don't know who that is. That's Esau. So-called white man.
And it tells you in verse 34, their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh Bashem Yashai of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. You know that weren't the old Babylon there, you know it's going to be the Babylon today. So that's how we know it's talk about America. The Apostle to heart says the main deliverance is coming out of America, not like what Bishop is in Africa.
That's why it says in what Obadiah, they said that the house of Joseph and the house of Judah shall be a fire.
Right.
Joseph a flame.
What's the problem?
They're going to be in one place. It's not Africa.
I found that when I spoke to them, when I tried to interact with them, the spirit got there. So when I speak to you, man, you don't understand what I'm saying. When I speak to them, of course, that's not saying.
We're not negating. I want to know. We're not negating what you said about West Africa, about certain of those tribes like Ephraim. We're not negating that. So don't get it twisted.
Yeah, of course. Everywhere, man. We're Iceland, everywhere. We're everywhere.
What about a white man? What about a white man? If a white man said he believes in this and he believes in Yahweh Bashem Yashai.
The white man that believes in the chart.
Yeah, no, a white man believes in history. What about that?
So you know the history about a lot of the Irish, right?
But the thing is, you don't believe that.
If you saw a white guy with my hair, would you accept it? He's the way that you protect.
I'm not sure we should be in a congregation like that.
Carnal, man. I'm carnal. Because remember, Israel is going to be scattered among all nations. They're going to look to their third and fourth generation. But how do you know he's an Edom? How do you know you're an Israelite?
You have to look into it. You have to look into his ancestors. Daddy was.
Have you looked into your ancestors? Who your daddy?
Yes, of course. Daddy's an Israelite too. I think Daddy's an Israelite. You know what I mean?
Through the spirit, right? The spirit very much.
They know that they're Israelites. You know what I'm saying? So I know. Half my family is Israelites. And even if a white man wanted to be, I believe that he says translation comes, then get some salvation. I don't reckon they
This is what I'm saying. He's on the side. I know. What do you believe the name? What do you believe the name of the father is?
Wait. Let's
He's on another doctrine, man.
Well, I call him Yah.
See, he's on another doctrine.
Right, so
I don't know.
about other
say
nations.
Yahoo or something.
The reason.
So would you allow a white person to come and stand there with you and congregate with you?
If you believe,
If he was a Christian, it's not about the colour. I'm talking about someone that's from that life, straight from that life.
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say.
It's not about colour. He might look like a Caucasian man, but if he's an Israelite, same thing, he might be Irish.
I know, but I get it. Because not everybody that looks. Some people look black and they're white.
Exactly. And then some people
That's what we're saying.
Caucasian, but they actually
See, they're your father, isn't it?
it's not about what they look like. You know what I mean?
That's what we're saying about these tribes here.
I'll hit you up and then we'll be in touch, yeah?
Alright, shout out.
Best up, man. I'm going to catch you soon.
Love for the C9.
Yeah. For the
For the C9. The agency.
Oh yeah, you did shout them out. I'll catch you back.
Yeah, shalom to the Hakim, Yabashim Rashai, Barakah, Barakah, Tamya Chini households.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know my way, does not consider. And I'll keep on this little bit. You know what I'm saying? My sheep will hear my voice and they follow, right? This word is not for everybody. We're not here to convince you. We're not here debating everything. And we're here to bring out the word, and the word is going to be what it does. Too far if you want to get this word, no matter what we do, we're not here to force it down your throat.
You said. Like, you know, the elder always says it, man. This is a spiritual thing, man. It's not a carnal thing. You know, you can't just look at things at face value and judge, man. That's why you got to be spiritual in this walk. So I just got a quick, going back to what he's bringing out about Gad quickly, right? It's a quick one, and I've got another one, right? So this is just one of the things how we determine that, you know, who these scriptures describe to or describe, right? So this is speaking about Gad, Deuteronomy 33 verse 20. It says, and Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad, he dwelleth as a lion, right? Because Gad had that warrior spirit. They were a warrior tribe.
They had that feather head.
That feather head, right? Which what made them look like a lion's mane to some degree, right? So it says, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. So what was one of the things that Gad were known for, man? Scalping. They scalped a lot of those the cavalry men, right? But that's in the scriptures.
So look, you know that you know the video when we posted, right? There was a video where there's a new Chad the Builder. Oh, right? But he's like of the native Indian, and he's just bringing out facts. He's not being like vulgar, but he's just bringing out facts. And he did mention that they were scalping their ancestors. Esau didn't have nothing to say about it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a word, they didn't have a comeback.
So this is 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness to him. So he can't see past what phenotype. Unless you've got a broad nose, big ass lips, you know. Not understanding that the Heavenly Father created diversity from the get-go. That you look at the animal kingdom, for example, there's different types of felines, man. There's different types of amphibians. Now they might be in the same family, so you might have lizards, for example. There's many kinds of lizards. And they all change color and and blend in with no. A chameleon can do that. As for a sand lizard, they can't do that, but it's still a lizard, right? But nonetheless, it says, for they are foolishness unto him. So he couldn't get that, just because these tribes might be lighter, or they wasn't on the same ships that we were on. Speaking about, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Because remember, predominantly those were the tribes that were left over there in the west coast of Africa, like you have today. Again, we're not negating what he's saying about those tribes still being over there in the west coast of Africa, right? But it says, because they are spiritually, for their foolishness to him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So when the Heavenly Father put the spirit on the elder Ariel to bring forth this tribe, which really, again, is scriptural, man. Pursuant to Ezekiel, I don't think we brought it out, right? But this is spiritual, this side. Now, we're not saying that this is where you're going to find all the tribes, but predominantly, these just happen to be the lands where the predominant amount of these tribes dwell to this day, man. Based off the spirit. Yeah, based off the spirit. Which what? The word that we speak, the words that we speak according to the scriptures are the spirit, man.
And they're aligned perfectly.
Yeah.
What he was saying is, when he communicates with them, talking about like the northern Juda, like the Latinos, he doesn't get a good reception from them. So that's why he's so against them. But understanding that there's an enmity. That's what it says. It says, Isaiah chapter 11, verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So, between prior to that whole healing between the two houses, there's been a kind of enmity between us two, between the so-called blacks and the quote-unquote Latinos, the native Indians of America, right? But the Lord's going to heal all that. And the Lord is actually doing that right now. When you read Ezekiel, Ezekiel 37, verse 15.
See, before you bring it out, Zapan, just quickly, right? And you have the same thing within what? The Southern Kingdom, right? Because you can remember being in school, right? When you had what? You had the West Indians. They didn't see eye to eye against the eye to eye with the West Africans. They would say, "No, you're not us and we're not you."
Right.
So it's the same thing within the Southern Kingdom. So these are things that we see pursuant to the custom among our people. So that's not a strange thing when you don't see eye to eye or don't get along with your people.
I read with like the LA gangs, like with the LA gangs as well. I remember watching that. Is it Louis Theroux or something? It's the hoods and whatnot.
King all blacks.
It's like King all blacks.
Remember that one?
Blacks, goddamn.
They really hate us. I heard them, the Mexicans, they hate blacks as well for the most part. There's very racist down there, right? They see themselves as called blacks.
that hate blacks.
Like the Dominicans don't see themselves as blacks. They see themselves as Dominicans. So there's a lot of racism. But really because of the conquering of the Conquistadors and the Spaniards, they put that hate. They instilled that inside of them. And a lot of them are not actually, even though they might look like Latinos, a lot of them are actually descended from the Conquistadors, man. A lot of them. But like I said, we're dealing with the elected. We're dealing with the elected. The Lord's dealing with the elected that's going to come out of them and believe and the Lord's going to heal them. According to Ezekiel 37. If you can never read this and then get to it.
It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 37. Let's start from 12. Therefore, verse 15. The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right, read that again.
Moreover,
Go on.
Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
See that?
Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel,